For more on this, we're joined live now by former federal prosecutor Neama Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers based here in L.A. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So what do you make of the statement from the DA that one brother could possibly be freed while the other one stays in?
I know Nathan. I used to work with him at the LA City Ethics Commission. He's fair, and this is what he has to say. But this is really a distinction without a difference. Either both Eric and Lyle will be released or neither will be released. Now, the argument does make sense with respect to self-defense, because obviously if they were abused by their father, Jose, it's a much tougher argument with respect to Kitty, their mother. But if you're releasing them because of the interest of justice, because they've been model inmates for the past 35 years, really Eric and Lyle have essentially been the same in California State Prison.
Does Hochman saying this, though, today give us any indication which way he is leaning? He hasn't kind of related his opinion yet, as George Gascon did, that he thought the brothers should be resentenced.
Hochman has not. He's really played his cards very close to the vest, both during the election and after. I thought he would come out sometime pretty soon and make his position clear. Now, the defense has argued that because George Gascon initiated this process, Hochman can't pull it back. I'm not so sure. We're in uncharted legal waters here, but he has about a month or so before he has to file that paperwork and either oppose the resentencing request, go along with it, or recommend something else entirely.
Does politics play any part of this? Because George Gascon, one of the things that he tried to hit towards the end of the election there was the fact that he thought the brothers should be resentenced, and yet voters in L.A. rejected him soundly and elected Nathan Hochman. Does that factor into Nathan Hochman's thinking?
Politics absolutely plays a part in this. And let's not forget, the initial habeas petition was filed by the Menendez brothers in early to mid 2023. It was only a month or two before the election when Gascon was trailing badly, and the Netflix series Monsters came out, and the Menendez brothers were very popular, that this became a political issue. We know we've gone through some district attorney changes here in Los Angeles, Jackie Lacey, George Gascon, now Nathan Hochman. This is the first big decision he has to make as district attorney. And there are people on both sides that have very strong views on this. There's some that think the brothers were victims of sex abuse and they should be released, and others think that they're murderers who should have gotten the death penalty and they're lucky to still be alive in prison.
Do you think this is going to factor into Nathan Hochman wanting to be seen as very, very different from his predecessor?
I think so. I mean, obviously, George Gascon was criticized, even by folks on the left, for being soft on crime. And if Hochman's first move is to release the Menendez brothers, and look, my position is if they truly were victims of sex abuse at the hands of their father and their mother was complicit in covering up, I do believe that 35 years is a fair and just sentence. They should be released. But there are many people that think that shooting your father 6 times, your mother 10 times with a shotgun, that's vigilante justice. That is not a reason to be freed. I think he will start getting criticism from conservatives for being soft like his predecessor, George Gascon.
All right. Former federal prosecutor Neama Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers based in L.A. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, as always.